Guys, today we're going to learn about woodwind instruments. There are several different families of instruments. So there's groups of instruments that are similar or have really important things in common, and the group we're going to talk about is woodwinds. Now, the thing that makes woodwind instruments all similar is right there in the name. You've got wood and you've got wind. So some part of the instrument, if it's a woodwind instrument, is always made of wood. It could be the whole thing. Like here I've got a flute that's made all of wood. It's just all wood. Or it could just be part of an instrument. So if we look down at the picture, let me get my laser pointer. Or maybe not my laser pointer. Where is it? Golly. Hello, please work. There we go. There's my laser pointer. So if we look at this instrument, it's got a lot of metal. But it's got that black is actually wood. Right here, we've got this is a lot of metal, but this is wood. It's just got a finish on it that gives it that red color. And then this instrument, it's not made of wood anymore. However, it used to be made out of wood. And so that's why it's still considered a woodwind instrument. The other thing, wind, is it requires air to play. You can't just take a flute and go, it's going to make sound. You have to actually blow air into it. If I don't use air, nothing. I need air. Now, they usually also have lots of buttons and mechanisms called keys. So if you've seen a trumpet, there's only like 3 little buttons on there. But if you look at these instruments, they've got lots of buttons and mechanisms, and those are the keys, all those little metal parts. Now, we're going to talk about the flute a lot today because the flute is one of the most well-known woodwind instruments. It's one that used to be made out of wood. So they aren't made out of wood usually anymore when you see them in like a big orchestra. It's actually that instrument that you saw on the left here that's completely made out of metal. But I've got one here, it's completely made out of wood. It looks like this one, where it's just wood with some holes in it. That's all it is, and I can play lots of songs. Or, oops. You can play lots of songs even though it's just super simple. It's just a tube with holes, a wooden tube with holes. So eventually people started making them out of wood and adding keys because you could play more notes that way. I can only play so many notes with this flute, but if I have a flute with all those buttons, it lets you play more and more notes, more different notes. Now, some of these down here, you see the recorder and this flute, which is a Native American flute. These are also considered flutes. What makes a flute is it's made by the air striking something. So striking that hole, making the instrument vibrate and make sound. So we see these mechanisms. They added these mechanisms to let you play more and more notes. This one, it only has a couple mechanisms. So it was an early one. So you took this instrument and you just added a couple keys. And then later they were like, oh, we're going to add some more so you can play more notes. And I've linked this video as well as another video in the lesson so you can hear somebody play a wooden flute that has very few mechanisms. She has one little key down there. She doesn't have a lot. And then I've also linked, oh, please don't play. I've also linked another video that shows this flute. Now, the reason they started making it out of metal is because this wooden instrument is very quiet. And so as other instruments started getting louder and better, the flute it wasn't loud enough when it was made out of wood. But the metal flute is super loud, and you can hear it over all the other instruments. And there's a video of somebody playing a metal flute as well. So please watch both of those examples. Y'all have a good day.